like to welcome you to the House of Thrillers. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. Tonight, we're going to be rehearsing the Shawshank Redemption. So buckle your seatbelts. It's quite the ride. And we'll see you on the other side. It's great to see everybody tonight. Sunshine. TWP popcorn. Hey, Niz. Jonica. Welcome. Diabolical Debbie. Yeah, give us just a second. We'll get these graphics sorted out and pull everybody in. The wonderful Nez Lover playing various parts, and Steve-O from Burnt Flowers Falling. Caucasian Sasquatch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Or Puff. So yeah, we'll probably go ahead and everybody's ready to roll, huh? Sounding good. This is going to be probably our final rehearsal, and we're looking at Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central for the live show. We've got a lot of good things planned for you, from giveaways to hopefully have a band come on at the end, and of course a wonderful show with a wonderful overlay made by Izzy Pop. Hey, what's truth? Welcome to the show. Did I see Bingus out there? Paging Bingus. Anyway, got Sunshine out there looking after things. Thank you. So yeah, Izzy's going to be reading a little bit tonight, and I'll pop in on some of the narrative. But like I said, y'all feel free to just kind of pop in and say if you need to talk about something, because we still are in rehearsal. So with that being said, let Izzy take it from there. You going to play
Interior
some music?
Plymouth.
Okay. Good.
Interior Plymouth night, 1946. Andy Dufresne, mid-20s, wears wire-rimmed glasses, three-piece suit. Under normal circumstances, a respectable, solid citizen, hardly dangerous, perhaps even meek. But these circumstances are far from normal. He is disheveled, unshaven, and very drunk. A cigarette smolders in his mouth. His eyes, flinty and hard, are riveted to the bungalow up the path. He can actually hear them bucking from here. He raises a bottle of bourbon and knocks it back. The radio plays softly, painfully romantic, taunting him. We fade to black. It's a familiar scene. The DA holds the jury spellbound with its closing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all the evidence. You know all the facts. We have the accused at the scene of the crime. We have footprints, tire tracks, bullets scattered on the ground which bear his fingerprints, a broken bourbon bottle, likewise with fingerprints. Most of all, we have a beautiful young woman and her lover lying dead in each other's arms. They had sinned, but was their crime so great as to merit a death sentence?
He gestures to Andy sitting quietly with his attorney.
I suspect Mr. Dufresne's answer to that would be yes. I further suspect he carried out that sentence on the night of September 21st in the year of our Lord, 1946, by pumping 4 bullets into his wife and another 4 into Glenn Quinton.
The verdict is guilty.
You strike me as a particularly icy and remorseless man, Mr. Dufresne. It chills my blood just to look at you. By the power vested in me by the state of Maine, I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences, back to back, one for each of your victims, so be it.
He raps his gavel as we now see a prison cell, its bars illuminated by light. Interior, Shawshank hearings room, day. 1947. Red enters, removes his cap, and waits by the chair.
We see by your file you served 2 years of a life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I've learned my lesson. I can honestly say I'm a changed man. No longer a danger to society. That's God's honest truth. No doubt about it.
The men just stare at him. One stifles a yawn. Close up, parole form. A big rubber stamp slams down. Rejected in red ink. Exterior, exercise yard, Shawshank prison, dusk. High stone walls topped with snaky concertina wire, set off at intervals by looming guard towers. Over 100 cons are in the yard, playing catch, shooting craps, jawing at each other, making deals. Exercise period. Red emerges into fading daylight, slouches low-key throughout the activity, worn cap on his head, exchanging hellos and doing minor business. He's an important man here.
There's a kind like me in every prison in America, I guess. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer, if you're partial, bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation. Damn near anything, within reason.
He slips somebody a pack of smokes, smooth sleight of hand.
Yes, sir, I'm a regular Sears and Roebuck.
2 short siren blasts issue from the main tower, drawing everybody's attention to the loading dock. The outer gate swings open, revealing a gray prison bus outside.
So when Andy Dufresne came to me in 1949 and asked me to smuggle Rita Hayworth into prison for him, I told him no problem, and it wasn't.
Red is joined by Haywood, Skeet, Floyd, Jigger, Ernie, Snooze. Most cons crowd to the fence to gawk and jeer, but Red and his group mount the bleachers and settle in comfortably. Interior prison bus. Andy sits in back wearing his steel collar and chains. I'm sorry, guys.
Andy came to Shawshank prison in early 1947 for murdering his wife and the fella she was banging. On the outside, he was vice president of a large Portland bank. Good work for a man as young as he was, when you consider how conservative banks were back then.
Guards approach the bus with carbines. The door jerks open. The new fish disembark, chained together single file, blinking sourly at their surroundings. Byron Hadley, captain of the guard, slams his baton into Andy's back. Andy goes to his knees, gasping in pain.
Hey, baby! Look
Hey,
at
fishy.
Come up and see
Ooh,
me. Yeah, I like some of that.
On your feet before I fuck you up so bad you never walk again.
We pan to Red.
There they are, boys. The human charm bracelet.
Never seen such sorry looking heap of maggot shit in my life. I think that's normally going to be Bingus there playing jigger, so
Okay.
hit that.
Coming
next.
from you, Haywood, you being so pretty and all. Taking bets today, Red?
Hey, wait a minute.
This is here.
Hey, a minute.
Oh, yay!
Huh?
He's up
Oh,
here.
Bingus is
Are
here.
you-
My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bingus.
Coming from you, Haywood, you being so pretty and all. Sorry I'm late.
Taking bets today, Red?
They're Catholic, poke shit in the woods, smokes a coin. That is true.
Hold up.
Hold
Hold up, Steve-O, we gotta fix your mic. You're really low.
Hello.
I'm low or
Yeah.
No, Steve
No,
is.
Steve's low.
Steve-O's really low.
Thank you for
Hello,
noticing.
Steve-O.
How about that?
All right, talk to me, Steve-O.
Talk to me, Steve-O. Talk to me. I was telling Red the other day. Wait a minute, Red's me.
Taking bets today, Red?
Is the Pope Catholic? Bears shit in the woods?
That's a little better.
Smokes a coin, bet his choice.
Smokes, put me down for 2.
High roller, who's your horse?
That gangly sack of shit, third from the front. He'll be the first.
I say fat, chubby, fat ass. Let's see, fifth from the front. Put me down for a quarter deck.
That's 5 cigarettes on fat ass. Any takers?
More hands go up. Andy and the others are paraded along, forced by their chains to take tiny baby steps, flinching under the barrage of jeers and shouts. The old-timers are shaking the fence, trying to make the newcomers shit their pants. Some of the new fish shout back, but mostly they look terrified, especially Andy.
I must admit, I didn't think much of Andy the first time I laid eyes on him. He might have been important on the outside, but in here he was just a little turd with prison grades. Looked like a stiff breeze could blow him over. That was my first impression of the man.
You skeet.
Who was doing skeet?
I don't remember of anyone doing skeet.
Well, can you pick that character up, Sasquatch?
Sure.
Just remember that's you now, from now on, so in case we don't find anybody.
What's hey, Red?
Little fella on the end. Definitely. I stake half a pack. Any takers?
Rich bit.
Come on, boys. Who's going to prove me wrong? Lloyd? Skeet? Joe? Haywood? 4 brave souls. 10 smokes apiece. That's it, gentlemen. The window's closed.
Red pockets his notepad. A voice comes over the PA speakers.
Return to your cell blocks for evening count.
Interior admitting area, dusk. The new fish are marched in. Guards unlock the shackles. The chains drop away, rattling to the stone floor.
Eyes front.
Warden Samuel Norton strolls forth, a colorless man in a gray suit and a church pin in his lapel. He looks like he could piss ice water. He appraises the newcomers with flinty eyes.
This is Mr. Hadley, captain of the guard. I am Mr. Norton, the warden. You are sinners and scum. That's why they sent you to me. Rule number 1, no blaspheming. I'll not have the Lord's name taken in vain in my prison. The other rules you'll figure out as you go along. Any questions?
1, 2, 3.
Cued by Norton's glance, Hadley steps to the con and screams right in his face.
You eat when we say you eat. You piss when we say you piss. You shit when we say you shit. You sleep when we say you sleep. You maggot dick motherfucker.
Hadley rams the tip of his club into the con's belly. The man falls to his knees, gasping and clutching himself. Hadley takes his place at Norton's side again, softly.
Any other questions? I believe in 2 things, discipline and the Bible. Here, you'll receive both. Put your faith in the Lord. Your ass belongs to me. Welcome to Shawshank.
Off of them clothes. And I didn't say take all day doing it, did I?
Hadley shoves the first con into a steel cage open at the front. 2 guards open up with a fire hose. The con is slammed against the back of the cage, sputtering and hollering. Seconds later, the water is cut and the con yanked out.
Delouse that piece of shit. Next man in.
Interior cell block 5. 3 tiers to the side, concrete and steel, gray and imposing. Andy and the others are marched in, still naked, carrying their clothes and Bibles. The cons in their cells agree to greet them with taunts and jeers and laughter. One by one,
Shake it for me. Come on, see me sometime. Woo, baby.
Meat fish.
You got nice lips.
The first night is the toughest, no doubt about it. They march in naked as the day you're born. Fresh from a Bible reading, skin burning and half blind from that delousing shit they throw on you. And when they put you in that cell, and when those bars slam home, that's when you know it's for real. Old life blown away in the blink of an eye. A long, cold season in hell stretching out ahead. Nothing left but all the time in the world to think about it.
Red listens to the clanging below. He watches it. He watches Andy and a few others. Oh my God.
It's okay.
I have an echo.
Janica thinks it's funny, so it's okay.
Oh, of course. I can kick her out anytime. Just say the words.
Liliano Sarah.
Most new fish come to madness the first night. Somebody always breaks down crying. Happens every time. The only question is, who's it gonna be?
Andy is led past and given a cell at the end of the tier.
It's as good as a thing to bet as any, I guess. I had my money on Andy Dufresne.
Interior, Andy's cell, night. The bars slam home. Andy is alone in his cell, clutching his clothes. He gazes around at his new surroundings. Taking it in, he slowly begins to dress himself. Red lies on his bunk below us, tossing his baseball towards the ceiling and catching it again. He pauses, listening. Footsteps approach below, unhurried, echoing hollowly on stone.
This lights out. Good night, ladies.
The lights bump off in sequence. The guard exits, footsteps echoing away. Darkness now, silence.
I remember my first night. Seems a long time ago now.
Red looms from the darkness, leans on the bars, listens, waits. From somewhere below comes faint, ghastly tittering. Voices drift through the cell block, taunting.
Fishy. Oh,
You know,
I can hear new fish.
Oh, man,
Dig
your mama.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna waller you out real good.
Down,
Fishy, fishy.
fishy. The boys always go fishing with the first timers. And they don't quit till they reel someone in.
The voices keep on, sly and creepy in the dark. One man paces like a caged animal. Another sits gnawing his cuticles bloody. A third is weeping silently. A fourth is dry heaving into the toilet. Red waits at the bars, smoking, listening. He cranes his head, peers down toward Andy's cell. Nothing, not a peep. And that's it. Fat ass lets out a loud wail of despair.
Oh, God, I don't belong here. I want to go home.
The place goes nuts. Badass throws himself screaming against the bars. The entire block starts chanting.
Fresh fish, fresh fish, fresh fish.
I want to go home. I want my mother.
I had your mother. She wasn't that great.
Lights bump on. Guards pour in, led by Hadley himself.
What the Christ is this happy shit?
He took the Lord's name in vain. I'm telling the warden.
You be telling him I'm dying up your ass.
Hadley arrives at Fat Ass's cell, bellowing through the bars.
What's your malfunction, you fat fucking barrel of monkey spunk?
Please, this ain't right. I ain't supposed to be here, not me.
I ain't gonna count to three. Damn. I ain't gonna count to three. Not even to one. Now shut the fuck up before I sing you a lullaby.
Badass keeps blubbering and wailing. Total freak out. Hadley draws his baton, gestures to his men. Open it.
Open it.
A guard unlocks the cell. Hadley pulls Fat Ass out and starts beating him with a baton, brutally raining blows. Fat Ass falls, tries to crawl. The place goes dead silent. All we hear now is the dull thwack, thwack, thwack of the baton. Fat ass passes out. Hadley gets in a few more licks and finally stops.
Get this tub of shit down to the infirmary. If I hear so much as a mouse fart in here the rest of the night, by God and Sonny genius. Genius. If I hear so much as a mouse fart in here the rest of the night, by God and Sonny Jesus, you'll all visit the infirmary. Every last motherfucker in here.
You guys are
The
all
guards wrestle Fat Ass into a stretcher and carry him off. Footsteps echo away. Lights off. Darkness again. Silence. Red stares through the bars at the main floor below. Eyes riveted to the small puddle of blood where Fat Ass went down.
His first night in the joint, Andy DeFrank cost me 2 packs of cigarettes. He never made a sound.
I can't hear him.
I know.
I can't hear him either.
His first night in the joint, Andy DeFrank cost me 2 packs of cigarettes. He never made a sound. How about that?
Better.
It was better. Yeah. You usually don't have an issue with that. That's weird.
Interior mess
Interior.
hall morning. Are you using that little microphone?
The teeny
Steve-O.
tiny one? No. Who keeps turning
Yeah.
on the reduced background noise? Because that just basically makes my mic useless.
Why don't you turn that off on his?
I keep
now?
turning it off, but somebody keeps popping it back on.
Izzy, can you check?
Well,
keep
I
that
do it
function
because I'm
off of
supposed to.
Steve-O's?
Oh.
See if it makes a difference. Y'all know that's new with StreamYard. You got 2 different audio.
StreamYard's been
functions now
goofing
for all
off.
you
Now we're
creators out there.
Now we're on
You
the
got
good mic.
Reduce it.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
There
See,
you go.
what's happening with StreamYard, if for all you creators that haven't noticed, there's 2 audio functions in the settings now. One is for reduced volume mic, and one is echo cancellation, where it used to be all lumped into one. You see that, Sasquatch?
I haven't really played with it much yet, but
Yeah, you got to hit them both now, like, because I got a fan running, you know, for example, but I guess with Steve-O's mic, it really messes it up. So, okay, let's get back at it, y'all.
All right, interior mess hall.
Okay.
Interior mess hall morning. Andy goes through the breakfast line, gets a scoop of glop on his tray. We pan Andy through the noise and confusion and discover Boggs Diamond and Rooster McBride watching Andy go by. Boggs sizes Andy up with a salacious gleam in his eye, mutters something to Rooster. Rooster laughs. Andy finds a table occupied by Red and his regulars, chooses a spot at the end where nobody is sitting. Ignoring their stares, he picks up his spoon and pauses, seeing something in his food. He carefully fishes it out with his fingers. It's a squirming maggot. Andy grimaces, unsure what to do with it. Brooks Hatlin is sitting closest to Andy. At age 65, he's a senior citizen, a long-standing resident.
You gonna eat that?
I hadn't planned on it.
You mind?
Andy passes the maggot to Brooks. Brooks examines it, rolling it between his fingertips like a man checking out a fine cigar. Andy is riveted with apprehension.
Nice and ripe.
Andy can't bear to watch. Brooks opens his sweater and feeds the maggot to a baby crow nestled in an inside pocket. Andy breathes a sigh of relief.
Jake says thanks. Fell out of his nest over by the plate shop. I'm looking after him till he's old enough to fly.
Andy nods, proceeds to eat, carefully. Haywood approaches.
Morning, boys. It's fine morning. You know why it's fine?
Haywood plops his tray down, sits. The men start pulling out cigarettes and handing them down.
That's right. Send them all down. I want to see them lined up in a row. Pretty as a course line.
An impressive pile forms. Haywood bends down and inhales deeply, smelling the aroma. Rapture.
Smell my ass.
Gee, Red, terrible shame your horse coming in last and all. Hell, I sure do love that horse of mine. I believe I owe that boy a big sloppy kiss when I see him.
Give him some of your cigarettes instead, you cheap bastard.
Say, Tyrell, you pull infirmary duty this week? How's that winning horse of mine anyway?
Dead. Hadley busted his head pretty good. Doc already went home for the night. Poor bastard laid 8 this morning. By then.
He shakes his head, turns back to his food. The silence mounts. Haywood glances around. Men resume eating. Softly.
Muted
Bangs
fingers.
muted.
What was his name?
What'd you say?
I was wondering if anyone knew his name.
Well, fuck you, care, new fish. Doesn't matter what his fucking name was. He's dead.
Interior prison laundry. Day. A deafening noise of industrial washers and pressers. Andy works the laundry line. Exercise period. Red plays with Haywood and Jigger, lazily tossing a baseball around. Red notices Andy off to the side, nods hello. Andy takes this as a cue to amble over. Haywood and Jigger pause, watching.
Hello, I'm Andy Dufresne.
Red glances at the hand, ignores it. The game continues.
The wife-killing banker.
How'd you know that?
I keep my ear to the ground. Why'd you do it?
I didn't, since you asked.
Hell, you'd fit right in then. Everyone's innocent here. Didn't you know that? Haywood, what you in for, boy?
Didn't do it. Laura fucked me.
Red
See?
gives Andy a look. See?
What else have you heard?
People say you're a cold fish. They say you think your shit smells sweeter than ordinary. That true?
What do you think?
Ain't made my mind up yet.
You know, I understand you're a man who knows how to get them.
I'm known to locate certain things from time to time. They seem to fall in my hands. Maybe it's because I'm Irish.
I wonder if you could get me a rock hammer.
What is it and why?
You make a customer's motives a part of your business now?
If you wanted a toothbrush, I wouldn't ask questions. I just quote a price. Toothbrush C is a non-lethal sort of object.
Fair enough. A rock hammer is about 8 or 9 inches long and looks like a miniature pickaxe, with a small sharp pick on one end and a blunt hammerhead on the other. It's for rock.
Rocks.
Andy squats, motions Red to join him. Andy grabs a handful of dirt and sifts it through his hands. He finds a pebble and rubs it clean. It has a nice milky glow. He tosses it to Red.
Quartz.
Quartz, sure. And look, mica, shale, silted granite, and there's some graded limestone from when they cut this place out of the hill.
So?
I'm a rock hound. At least I was in my old life. I'd like to be again on a limited scale.
Yeah, well, that'll maybe plant your toy in somebody's skull.
I have no enemies here.
No? Just wait.
Red flicks his gaze past Andy. Boggs is watching them.
Word gets around. The sisters have taken a real shine to you. Yes, they have, especially Boggs.
Tell me something. Would it help if I explained to them I'm not a homosexual?
Neither are they. You have to be human first, and they don't qualify. Bull queers take by force. That's all they want or understand. I'd grow eyes in the back of my head if I were you.
Thanks for the advice.
That comes free. But you understand my concern.
If there's trouble, I doubt a rock hammer will do me any good.
Then I guess you want to escape. Tunnel under the wall, maybe. I missed the joke. What's so funny?
You'll know when you see the rock hammer.
What's this item usually go for?
About $7 in any rock and gem shop.
My standard markup's 20%, but we're talking about a special object. The risk goes up, the price goes up. Call it $10 even.
I understand. Thank you, Mr.
Red. The name's Red.
Red, I'm Andy. Pleasure doing business with you.
They shake. Andy strolls off. Red watches him go.
I could see why some of the boys took for him snobby. He had a quiet way about him, a walk and a talk that just wasn't normal around here. He strolled like a man in a park without a care or worry, like he had on an invisible coat that would shield him from this place. Yes, I think it'd be fair to say I liked Andy from the start.
Interior,
of the prison
prison.
laundry and exchange in the day. Leonard catches Red's eye, turns and grabs a specific stack of clean sheets. He hands it across to Red. 2 packs of cigarettes slide out of Red's hand into Leonard's. We're in the interior of Red's cell in the day. Red slips the package out of the sheets, carefully checks to make sure nobody's coming, then rips it open. Pulls out the rock hammer. It's just as Andy described. Red laughs softly.
Andy was right. I finally got the joke. It would take a man about 600 years to tunnel under the wall with one of these.
The interior. Cell block 5, second tier at night. Brooks nods, never missing a beat. He rolls his cart to Andy's cell, mutters through the bars.
Middle shelf, wrapped in a towel.
Andy's hand snakes through the bars and makes the object disappear. The hand comes back and deposits a small slip of folded paper along with more cigarettes. Brooks turns his cart around and goes back. He pauses, sorting his books long enough for Red to snag the slip of paper. Brooks continues on, scooping the cigarettes off the cart and into his pocket. Now take it back there, Izzy.
Take it away, Izzy.
She abandoned her post.
There was a
Andy
motorcycle
plods.
out here. I didn't know if
A
you could hear it or not. There's a motorcycle. I'm sorry.
Sounded like a Harley.
It was just right at my front door. Where are we? Which one?
Andy plods through his days.
47, 48. Andy plods through his days, working, eating, chipping, and shaping his rocks after lights out.
And things went on like that for a while. Prison life consists of routine, and then even more routine.
Andy walks the yard, face swollen and bruised.
And ever so often, Andy would show up with fresh bruises.
He eats breakfast a few tables over. Boggs blows him a kiss.
And the sisters kept at him. Sometimes he was able to fight them off, sometimes not.
Andy backs into a corner in some dingy part of the prison, whitely swinging a rake at his tormentors.
He always fought. That's what I remember. He fought because he knew if he didn't fight, it would make it that much easier not to fight the next time.
The rake connects, snapping over somebody's skull. They beat the hell out of him.
Half the time it landed him in the infirmary. The other half, it landed him in solitary.
Interior of the prison laundry in the day, 1949. Andy's working the line.
And that's how it went for Andy. That was his routine. I do believe those first 2 years were the worst for him. And I also believe if things had gone on that way, this place would have gotten the best of him. But then in the spring of 1949, the powers that be decided that
The roof of the license plate factory needs resurfacing. I need a dozen volunteers for a week's work. We're going to be taking names in this here steel bucket.
Go ahead, Izzy.
I'm sorry. I was waiting for that thing to shut off. Which one? I'm sorry, y'all.
Are you ready? You want me to keep reading for a minute?
Yeah, for a minute. I'm just
Okay.
I've got carbon monoxide rolling under the door. Let me put a
Oh,
towel
okay.
Go ahead right now.
Red glances around at his friends, and Andy also catches his eye.
It was outdoor detail, and May is one damn fine month to be working outdoors.
Exterior of the prison yard in the day, 1949. Cons shuffle past, dropping slips of paper into a bucket.
More than 100 men have volunteered for the job.
Brett saunters to a guard named Tim Youngblood, mutters discreetly in his ear. The exterior of the prison yard. Youngblood's pulling names and reading them off. Red exchanges grins with Andy and the others.
And wouldn't you know it, me and some of the fellas I know were some of the names called.
Interior of the prison corridor at night, 1949. We see Red slipping Youngblood 6-packs of cigarettes.
Only cost us a pack of cigarettes a man, and I made my usual 20%, of course.
Exterior of the license plate.
Exterior license plate factory day, 1949. The men are dipping big pad brushes and spreading the tar. Hadley bitching sourly to his fellow guards.
So this shithead lawyer calls from long distance from Texas. Says, Byron Hadley? I say, yeah. Says, sorry to inform you, but your brother just died.
Damn, Byron, I'm sorry to hear that.
I ain't. He was an asshole. Run off years ago. Family ain't heard of him since. Figured him for dead anyway. So this lawyer prick says, your brother died a rich man. Oil wells and shit. Close to $1 million. Jesus, it's freaking incredible how lucky some assholes can get.
Bingus, you want to do trout? Feels balanced. Probably a better. You can play trout if you want to, Bingus.
Trout? $1 million?
Yes, sir.
Jeez Louise, you get any of that?
There you go.
$35,000. That's what he left me.
Dollars? Holy shit, that's great. Like winning a lottery. Ain't it?
Dumb shit what you figure the government's gonna do to me. Take a big wet bite out of my ass is what.
Oh, hadn't thought of that.
Maybe leave you enough to buy a new car with. Then what happens? You pay tax on the car, repairs, maintenance, goddamn kids pestering you to take them for a ride.
He glances over and is shocked to see Andy standing up, listening to the guards talk.
Psst. Andy, you nuts? Keep your eyes on your pail.
Andy tosses his pad in the bucket and strolls toward Hadley.
Andy, come back. Shit.
Mr. Hadley, do you trust your wife?
Oh, that's funny. You're gonna look funny or sucking my dick with no fucking teeth.
What I mean is, do you think she'd go behind your back, try to hamstring you?
That's it. Step aside, Mert. This fucker's having himself an accident.
Hadley grabs Andy's collar and propels him violently toward the edge of the roof. The cons furiously keep spreading tar.
Oh, God, he's going to do it. He's going to throw him off the roof.
Because if you do trust her, there's no reason in this world that you can't keep every cent of that money.
Hadley abruptly jerks Andy to a stop right at the edge.
You better start making sense.
If you want to keep that money, all of it, just give it to your wife. See, the IRS allows a one-time only gift to your spouse. It's good up to $60,000.
No, that ain't right. Tax-free?
Tax-free. IRS can't touch 1 cent.
The cons are pausing work, stunned by this business discussion.
You're the smart banker what shot his wife. Why should I believe a smart banker like you? So I can wind up in here with you?
It's perfectly legal. Go ask the IRS. They'll say the same thing. Actually, I feel silly telling you all this. I'm sure you would have investigated the matter yourself.
Fucking A. I don't need no smart wife killing lawyer. No, not lawyer. Fucking A. I don't need no smart wife killing banker to show me where the bear shit and the buckwheat.
Of course not. But you will need someone to set up a tax-free gift, and that'll cost you. A lawyer, for example.
Ambulance chasing, highway robbing cocksuckers.
Or, come to think of it, I suppose I could set it up for you. That would save you some money. I'll write down the forms you need. You can pick them up, and I'll prepare them for you for your signature, nearly free of charge. I'd only ask 3 beers apiece for my coworkers, if that seems fair.
Hadley freezes him with a look. Andy presses on.
You know, I think a man working outdoors feels more like a man if he can have a bottle of suds. That's only my opinion.
The convicts stand gaping, all pretense of work gone. They look like they've been pole-axed. Hadley shoots them a look.
What are you Jimmy staring at? Back to work, goddammit.
Exterior license plate factory day 1949. As before, an object is hauled up the side of the building by a rope. Only this time, it's a cooler of beer and ice.
And that's how it came to pass that on the second to last day of the job, the convict crew that tarred the plate factory roof in the spring of '49.
Hey, hang on a second. Yeah, I was trying to send Okie the screenplay, but I thought I had his email in there. He might want to play Tommy. Let me, I know I have it, but I just can't seem to find it. Let me see.
Main problem I have with emails is people have channel names, and then they send me an email from Skanky Skank 27, and I have no idea who that is.
Right.
I'm sorry, I won't do it anymore, Caucasian. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, I don't mind those. Those are okay.
27. What are you talking about?
Oh, wait, that's Bert's address. That's not mine. I'm sorry.
Like Flojo 19 or Bent Pelican. I don't know these people.
Let's see here. Forward.
Good to know it's working.
We brought Steve O for the comic relief.
Hang on a second.
You got time, bud. We have. We're good, dude. I mean, like he's like having a penny in a doctor's office. You can just play with it all day.
Yeah, let me just go over here to my email on my computer. I just didn't want to slow the stream down here. I know I got ODs. Let's see here, guys. Hang tight. Ska, you're in the Ska Zone for a minute.
You got Ned's lover
in another place. Ska. Relax. Little Scully computer.
Thank you, Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Just so y'all know, sunshine is my sunshine.
You are my
only
sunshine. My only
Makes you
sunshine.
happy when skies are gray.
There you go, sunshine, just for you.
Okie.
I sent him the link.
Huh?
I sent him the StreamYard link.
She's taking command of the operation.
No, I'm
I
not.
can't seem to find Okie's
Don't get that
email address for some reason. I'm trying to forward this to Okie's email, and I don't know why I can't seem to find his email.
And tell him to put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Cough up your email.
Click the link and put it in private chat.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, do that if you don't want to give his
Yeah,
email.
come
out.
on up, Okie, and go into private chat so I can get your email. I beg your pardon, man. I don't know
It's
why I can't find it.
legalweed19. Legalweed19@gmail.com.
Well, there it is.
Thank you, Ness.
Now everyone knows.
He's okay with that.
I'll be drunk texting you later.
Where is it? Oh my God. my
Skanky
computer's
skank
so
messages
fucking
from
slow,
Caucasian.
dude.
Yeah.
This fucking computer, man.
Yeah, I'm just going to forward them straight from you.
Okay, Okay, so I'm sending this to what? Legal weed?
Legal.
Legal
Oh, there it
weed,
is.
19.
Okay.
He put it in the chat,
All
so.
right. I'm so sorry. Here it comes, buddy. That's half the fun. See if that came through there, Oki, and your see if you can pull that script up. We'll get back to it. Well, we're gonna get back to it and just wait for him to come on in. He should be good to go.
I thought this might be your first rodeo, Lolo.
Who's clownfish? Tell us a joke.
Do you really want this? Chuck Norris tears cure cancer, but he never cries.
All right, let's go. Candy cans. Cons are drinking beer.
Wound up sitting in a row at 10 o'clock in the morning drinking icy cold Black Label beer, courtesy of the hardest screw that ever walked a turn at Shawshank State Prison.
Drink up, boys, while it's cold.
The colossal prick even managed to sound magnanimous.
Red knocks back another sip, enjoying the bitter cold on his tongue and the warm sun on his face.
We sat and drank with the sun on our shoulders and felt like free men. We could have been taught on the roof of one of our own houses. We were the lords of all creation.
He glances over to Andy, squatting apart from the others.
As for Andy, he spent that break hunkered in the shade, with a strange little smirk on his face, watching us drink his beer.
There's cold one, Andy.
No thanks. I gave up drinking.
Haywood drifts back to the others, giving them a look.
You could argue that he'd done it to curry favor with the gods, or maybe make a few friends among us cons. Me, I think he did it just to feel normal again, if for just a short while.
Exterior of the prison yard, the bleachers in the day. Andy and Red play checkers. Red makes his move.
How's that rock hammer working out for you anyway? Scratch your name in the wall yet?
Not yet. I suppose I should.
Andy, I guess we're bitten to be friends, ain't we?
I suppose we are.
Can I ask a question? Why'd you do it?
I'm innocent, remember? Just like everybody else here.
That's right. Red takes this as a gentle rebuff. Keeps playing.
What are you in for, Red?
Murder? Same as you.
Innocent?
The only guilty man in Shawshank.
Interior of Andy's cell at night. 1949. He's lying in his bunk after lights out, polishing a fragment of quartz by the light of the moon. Bosses, glancing at all the names scratched in the wall. He rises and makes sure the coast is clear and starts scratching his name into the cement with his rock hammer, adding to the record. While a convict audience hoots and catcalls. We find Red slouched in a folding chair, watching the movie. Andy enters, backlit by the flickering glare of the projector, and takes a seat next to him.
Hey, can we talk business?
Sure. What do you want?
Rita Haywood, can you get her?
No problem. Take a few weeks. I don't have a stuff down my pants this very moment, sorry to say, Andy. Relax. What are you so nervous about? She's just a woman.
Andy nods, embarrassed. He gets up and hurries out. Red grins, turns back to the movie. Let's skip down the production where they confront the startled projection. It's an old con blinking at them through thick bifocals.
Take a walk.
I have to change the reels.
I said fuck off.
Let's see. Hey, Okie. You there, buddy?
What's up, bud?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all?
Okay, good. Good deal, man. I think you're part Tommy. We're going to get you to play Tommy. How's that sound?
That sounds great. What page are you guys on?
We're not even but about almost
35.
to intermission, so Tommy doesn't come in for a little bit. So just hang tight, you know.
Okay.
Read
And
along.
if we need anything else, we'll kind of let you know. I know you're kind of coming in, you know, help out last minute and all, but just kind of jump right in, man, and let it flow. Izzy, you still there?
Yeah,
Can you narrate for a minute?
yeah.
Terrified, the old man darts.
Terrified, the old man darts past and out the door. Pete slams and locks it. Og shoves Andy to the center of the room.
Ain't you gonna scream?
Andy sighs, cocks his head at the projector.
They'd never hear me over that. Let's just get it over with.
Seemingly resigned, Andy turns around, leans on the rewind bench, and curls his finger around a full 1,000-foot reel of 35mm film. Rooster licks his lips, pushes past the others.
Me first.
Okay.
Andy whips the reel of film around in a vicious arc, smashing it into Rooster's face and bouncing him off the wall.
Fuck shit, he broke my nose.
Andy fights like hell, but is soon overpowered and forced to his knees. Boggs steps to Andy, pulls out an awl with a vicious 8-inch spike, gives him a good long look at it.
Now I'm gonna open my fly. You're gonna swallow what I give you to swallow. And when you do mine, you're gonna swallow Rooster's. You done broke his nose, so you ought to have something to show for.
Anything you put in my mouth, you're gonna lose.
Oh, you don't understand, sweetie. You do that, and I'll put all 8 inches of this steel in your ear.
Okay. Well, you should know that sudden serious brain injury causes the victim to bite down hard. In fact, I understand the bite reflex is so strong, the victim's jaws have to be pried open with a crowbar.
Andy gets a boot heel to the face. The sisters start kicking and beating the living shit out of him with anything they can get their hands on.
Boggs didn't put anything in Andy's mouth, and neither did his friends. But what they did do is beat him within an inch of his life.
Interior, infirmary, day 1949. Andy lies wrapped in bandages.
Andy spent a month in traction.
Interior, solitary confinement, day 1949.
Boggs spent a week in the hole.
Boggs sits on bare concrete. The steel door slides open.
Time's up, Boggs.
Interior, cell block 5. Third tier, dusk, 1949. Boggs comes up the stairs, smoking a cigarette. Not many cons around. The place is virtually deserted. A voice echoes dimly over the PA system.
Return to your cell blocks for evening call.
Boggs enters his cell. Dark in here. He fumbles for the light cord, yanks it. The sudden light reveals Captain Hadley, 6 inches from his face, waiting for him. Mert steps in behind Boggs, hemming him. Before Boggs can even open his mouth to say what the fuck,
What the
Hadley
fuck?
rams the tip of his baton brutally into his solar plexus. Boggs doubles over, gagging his wind out. He's gagging his wind out, yeah.
Two things
Excellent.
never
That's good.
Just take a break.
Two things never happened after that night. The sisters never laid a finger on Andy again. And Boggs never walked again. They transferred him to a minimum security upstate hospital. To my knowledge, he lived out the rest of his days drinking his food through a straw. Fellas, I'm thinking Andy could use some kind of welcome back when he gets out of the infirmary.
Sounds good to us. Figure we owe him for a beer.
Man likes to play chess.
Let's get him some rocks.
Interior of the prison laundry in the back room midday, a huge detergent box is filled with rock, hidden in the shadows behind the boiler furnace.
By the week Andy was due back, we had enough rocks saved up to keep him busy till ration. Also got a big shipment in that week. Cigarettes, chewing gum, shoelaces, playing cards with little naked ladies on them, you name it. And of course, the most important item.
Interior of Andy's cell at night, 1949. Norton arrives, makes a thin show of picking a cell at random. He motions at Andy in his bunk, reading his Bible. The door's unlocked. Norton enters, trailed by his men. Andy rises.
Good evening.
Norton gives a curt nod. Hadley and Trout start tossing the cell in a thorough search. Norton keeps his eyes on Andy, looking for a wrong glance or a nervous blink. He takes the Bible out of Andy's hand.
I'm pleased to see you reading this. Any favorite passages?
Yes. Watch thee, therefore, ye know not when the master of the house cometh.
Luke chapter 13, verse 35. I've always liked that one. But I prefer, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
Yeah. John chapter 8, verse 12.
I hear you're good with numbers. How nice. A man should have a skill.
You want to explain this?
Andy glances over. Hadley's holding up a rock blanket, polishing cloth roughly the size of an oven mitt.
It's called a rock blanket. It's for shaping and polishing rocks. Little hobby of mine.
Hadley glances at the rocks lining the windowsill, turns to Norton.
Looks pretty clean. Some contraband here, nothing to give him a twist over.
Norton nods, strolls to the poster of Rita.
I can't say I approve of this, but I suppose exceptions can always be made.
Norton exits. The guards follow. The cell door is slammed and locked. Norton pauses and turns back.
I almost forgot.
He reaches through the bars and returns the Bible to Andy.
I hate to deprive you of this. Salvation lies within.
Norton and his men walk away.
Tossing the cells was just an excuse. Truth is, Norton wanted to size Andy up.
Interior of Warden Norton's office a day. Andy is let in. Norton is at his desk doing paperwork. Andy's eyes go to a framed needlepoint sampler on the wall behind him that reads, "His judgment cometh, and that right soon."
My wife made that in church group.
Very pretty, sir.
You like working in the laundry?
No, sir, not especially.
Perhaps we can find something more befitting a man of your education.
Interior of the main building, storage rooms, a series of bleak rooms stacked high with unused filing cabinets, desk, paint supplies, etc. Andy enters. He hears a flutter of wings. An adult crow lands on a filing cabinet and struts back and forth, checking him out. Andy smiles.
Hey, Jay, where's Brooks?
Brooks Hatland pokes his head out of the back room.
Andy, I thought I heard you out here.
I've been reassigned to you.
I know. They told me. Ain't that a kick in the ass? Well, come on in. I'll give you the dime tour.
Interior of Shawshank Prison Library. Brooks leads Andy into the bleakest back room of all. Rough blank shelves are lined with books. Brooks' private domain.
Here she is, the Shawshank Prison Library. Along this side, we got the National Geographics. On that side, the Reader's Digest condensed books. Bottom shelf there, some Louis L'Amour and Earl Stanley Garniers. Every night, I pile up the cart and I make my rounds. Write down the names on this clipboard here. Well, that's it. Easy peasy, Japanesey. Any questions?
Andy pauses. Something about this doesn't make any sense.
Brooks, how long have you been the librarian?
Since 1912, 37 years.
In all that time, have you ever had an assistant?
Never needed one. Not much to it, is there?
Huh. So why now? Why me?
I don't know. I mean, nice to have some company down here for a change.
Dufresne!
Andy steps back into the outer rooms and finds Hadley with another guard, a huge fellow named Deacon.
That's him. That's the one.
Steve-O, can you do Deacons, maybe?
Yep.
I'm Deacons. I've been thinking about maybe setting up some kind of trust fund for my kids' education. And the covers us. Oh,
There you go. Awesome.
Andy covers the supplies, glances at Brooks. Brooks smiles.
I see. Well, why don't you have a seat and let's talk it over.
Hold one of them desks down there.
Andy and Deacons grab a desk standing on it and tilt it to the floor. They find chairs and settle in. Brooks returns with a tablet of paper and a pen, slides them before Andy.
So, what'd you have in mind? A weekly draw on your pay?
Yeah, I figured just stick it in the bank, but Captain Hadley said check with you first.
Yeah, he was right. You don't want your money in a bank.
I don't?
What's that going to earn you? 2.5%, 3% a year? We can do a lot better than that. So, tell me, Mr. Dinkins, where do you want to send your kids? Harvard or Yale?
The interior of the mess hall in the day.
He didn't say that. Oh, sorry.
God is my
that's
witness.
me, that's my fault, sorry.
And Deacons just blinks for a second, then he laughs his ass off and actually shook Andy's hand.
My ass.
Shook fucking hand and just about shit myself. All Andy needed was a suit and a tie and a little jiggly hula girl on his desk, and he would have been Mr. Dufresne, if you please. Making yourself some friends, huh, Andy?
I wouldn't say friends. I'm a convicted murderer who provides sound financial planning. That's a wonderful pet to have.
Got you out of the laundry, didn't it?
Maybe it can do more than that. How about expanding the library? Get some new books in here.
How you expect do that, Mr. Dufresne, if you please?
Ask the warden for funds.
Son. I've had 6 wardens in here through my tenure, and I've learned one great immutable truth about the universe. Ain't one of them been born whose asshole ain't pucker up tighter than a snare drum when you ask him for funds.
The interior of the main building hallway of the day, 1949. We're dollying up with Norton and Andy down the hall.
Not a dime. My budget's stretched thin as it is.
I see. Perhaps I could write to the state senate and request funds directly from them.
As far as them Republican boys in Augusta are concerned, there's only 3 ways to spend the taxpayers' hard-earned when it comes to prisons. More walls, more bars, more guards.
Still, I'd like to try. With your permission, of course. I'll send a letter a week. They can't ignore me forever.
They sure can. But you write your letters if it makes you happy. I'll even mail them for you. How's that?
The interior of Andy's cell at night. He's on his bunk writing a letter.
So Andy started writing a letter a week, just like he said. And just like Norton said, Andy got no answers. But he kept on. The following April, Andy did tax returns for half the guards at Shawshank. The year after that, he did them all, including the wardens. Yes, sir, Andy was a regular H&R Block. In fact, he got so busy at tax time, he was allowed a staff.
The angle shifts to reveal Red and Brooks doing filing chores.
Say, Red, could you hand me a stack of those 1040s?
Got me out of the wood shop once a month. Woodshop month. Blah, blah. Got me out of the wood shop a month out of the year, and that was fine by me.
Interior of the guard desk, Morton's outer office in the day. Andy enters and drops a letter on the outgoing stack.
And he still kept sending those letters.
The exterior of the exercise yard in the day. It's 1954 now. Floyd runs into the yard, scared and winded. He finds Andy and Red on the bleachers.
Red! Andy! It's Brooks!
Interior of the prison library, Andy's office day. Floyd rushes in with Andy and Red at his heels. They find Jigger and Snooze trying to calm Brooks, who has Haywood in a chokehold and a knife to his throat. Haywood is terrified.
Come on, Brooks! Why don't you just calm the fuck down, okay?
Goddamn miserable puke-eating sons of whores.
He kicks the table over. Tax files explode through the air.
What the hell's going on?
You tell me, man. 1 second he was fine, then out came the knife. I better get the guards.
No. We'll head into this. Ain't that right, Brooks? Just settle down. We'll talk about it, okay?
Nothing left to talk about. It's all talked out. Nothing left now but to cut his fucking throat.
Why? What was Haywood done to you?
That's what they want. That's the price I gotta pay.
Andy steps forward, rivets Brooks with a gaze.
Brooks, you're not going to hurt Haywood. We all know that. Even Haywood knows it, right, Haywood?
Sure, I know that, sure.
Why? Ask anyone. They'll tell you. Brooks Hatlin is a reasonable man.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what everyone says.
You're not fooling anybody. So just put the damn knife down and stop scaring the shit out of people.
But it's the only way they'll let me stay.
Storm is over. Haywood staggers free, grasping for air. Andy takes the knife, passes it to Red. Brooks dissolves into Andy's arms with great heaving sobs.
Take it easy, buddy. You'll be all right.
Him? What about me? Crazy old fool. Damn near slit my throat.
You've had worse from shaving. What'd you do to set him off?
Nothing. I just came in and said fairly well. Ain't you heard? His parole came through. Red and Andy exchange a surprised look. Andy wants to understand. Red just motions let it be for now. He puts his arms around Brooks, who sobs inconsolably.
Ain't that bad, old hoss? Won't be long until you're squiring pretty young girls on your arm, telling them lies.
Exterior of the prison yard bleachers at dusk.
Just don't understand what happened in here, that's all.
Old man's crazy. A rat in 10 shit houses. What?
Haywood enough. Ain't nothing wrong with Brooksy. He just institutionalized. That's all.
Institutionalized my ass?
Man's been here 50 years. This place, that's all he knows. And here, he's an important man. An educated man. A librarian. Out there, he's nothing but a used-up old con with arthritis in both hands. Couldn't even get a library card if he applied. You see what I'm saying?
Red, I do believe you're talking out your ass.
Believe what you want. But these walls are funny. First you hate them, then you get used to them. Long after enough, you get so you depend on them. That's institutionalized.
Shit, I could never get that way.
Okie, can you do Ernie?
Sure.
Okay. That's you.
Say that when you've been inside as long as Brooks has.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. Oh, sorry.
They send you here for life, and that's just what they take. The part that counts, anyways.
Interior of the library at dawn, 1954. Brooks stands on a chair, poised at the bars of a window, cradling Jake in his hands.
I can't take care of you no more, Jake. You go on now. You're free.
He tosses Jake through the bar. The crow flaps away. Exterior Shawshank prison main gate in the day. 2 short siren blasts herald the opening of the gate. It swings hugely open, revealing Brooks standing in his cheap suit, carrying a cheap bag, wearing a cheap hat. He walks out, tears streaming down his face. He looks back. Red Andy and others stand at the inner fence, seeing him off. The massive gates closes and wiping them from view. You see Brooks riding the bus, clutching the seat before him, gripped by terror of speed and motion.
Dear fellas, I can't believe how fast things move on the outside. I saw an automobile once when I was young. Now, they're everywhere. The world went and got itself in a big damn hurry.
He arrives at the Bruce.
He arrives at the Bruce. I thought that was Ska for me. Never mind.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, you're playing Hadley, and
I need a break for a minute.
I know your voice is cracking.
Okay.
He arrives at the Brewster. It ain't much to look at. Interior Brewster Hotel, day 1954. A woman leads Brooks up the stairs toward the top floor. He has trouble climbing so many stairs.
No music in your room after 8 p.m. No guests after 9. No cooking except on the hot plate.
People even talk faster and louder.
Interior Brooks' room, day 1954. Brooks enters. The room is small, old, and dingy.
The parole board got me into this halfway house called the Brewster, and a job bagging groceries at the foodway.
Make sure he double bags. Last time your man didn't double bag and the bottom near came out.
You double bag like the lady says, you understand?
Yes, sir. Double bag surely will. It's hard work. I try to keep up, but my hands hurt most of the time. I don't think the store manager likes me very much.
Exterior Park, day 1954. Brooks sits alone on a bench, feeding pigeons.
Sometimes after work, I go to the park and feed the birds. I keep thinking Jake might show up and say hello, but he never does. I hope wherever he is, he's doing okay and making new friends.
Interior Brooks' room, night 1954. Dark. Traffic outside. Brooks wakes up, disoriented, afraid. Somewhere in the night, a loud argument is taking place.
I have trouble sleeping at night. The bed's too big and I have bad dreams like I'm falling. I wake up scared, like sometimes it takes me a while to remember where I am. Maybe I should get a gun and rob the foodway so they'd send me home. I could shoot the manager while I was at it, like a bonus.
Interior Brooks' room, day 1954. Brooks is packing his worldly possessions into the carry bag, undershirts, socks, etc.
But I guess I'm too old for that sort of nonsense anymore.
Interior Brooks' room, shortly later. Brooks is dressed in his suit. He finishes nodding.
Okay, can you mute?
Brooks is dressed in his suit. He finishes.
Oh, some background noise there. Something was. That's all right.
Brooks is dressed in his suit. He finishes knotting his tie, puts his hat on his head. The letter lies on the desk, stamped and ready for mailing. His bag is by the door.
I don't like it here anymore. I'm tired of being afraid all the time. I've decided not to stay.
He takes one last look around. Only one thing left to do. He steps to a wooden chair in the center of the room, pulls out a pocket knife and glances up at the ceiling beam. He steps up onto the chair. It wobbles queasily. Now, facing the beam, he carves a message into the wood. Brooks Hatton was here. He smiles with a sort of inner peace.
I doubt they'll kick up any fuss. Not for an old crook like me.
His weight shifts on the wobbly chair, and it goes out. from underneath him. His feet remain where they are, kicking feebly in midair. His hat falls to the floor. The angle widens. Brooks hanged himself. He swings gently, facing the open window. Traffic noise floats up from below.
So this is where we had the intermission, but we're just going to continue on. So
Oh my God, I gotta pee.
if
Yeah,
y'all
we need
want to take a pee break, we can do that.
Please.
The
Okay.
show must go
No
on.
problem.
My eyeballs are closed,
Figure it out.
man.
You can do it. I
Back
already
with you.
got it.
I'll pee when you say I can pee. Right, yeah, I
That's
know.
right. You pee when I say you can pee.
Right?
You can pee.
That's funny. Hey, Stony Baker. Figment of Chemicans. Figment of Chemicans. Blood Jargon, welcome to the show. It's Sunshine Tingles. Welcome, welcome. Diabolical Debbie. Diabolical Debbie. Diabolical Debbie.
Grumpy sack tires.
Maximiliano Sarah. Maximiliano. Chemicans. Brain tingles. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Diabolical Debbie. Diabolical. This pop. Tingle pop. Ska, ska, ska. How you doing, Stony? Diabolical Debbie. Sunshine. Jonica Tingles, Jonica Tingles. Hey, Phil Guy, what's up, buddy? This piss break is brought to you by Grumpy Stack Tires. It's Vegas Paranormal. Welcome, darling. How you doing? Kintsugi-san, Kintsugi-san. Scully and everyone. Great job. Well, we're only like halfway through, but we should be a little further along. We've been goofing off a little bit tonight, so dingle, dingle, dingle.
If we can actually run it through smooth, it should be about just a hair under 2 hours.
That was cool. Oki got to pick up a few of those other characters too. Yep. Bingus! What's up, Bingus?
Okay.
Doing great with the Andy character.
Sorry,
You and Red sound pretty spot on with those characters, and with Brooks too.
7 o'clock your time is 5 o'clock traffic my time, so sorry I was late.
Okay.
Bingus.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, Bingus.
Good to see everybody.
It's good to be seen.
Hope everybody's enjoying reading. Cheers.
I'm having a great.
Oh, y'all are doing great.
Back into cognitive.
Oh, Ned's is back, so we're ready. Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. You ready, Izzy?
Anybody else?
Yes.
All right.
Exterior exercise yard, Shawshank Day, 1954. Andy reads the letter to Red and the others.
And there's a P.S. Tell Haywood I'm sorry I put a knife to his throat. No hard feelings.
A long silence. Andy folds the letter, puts it away.
You muted Steve?
He's still punching low.
Not sure he got back yet.
Oh, okay.
He should have
Well,
died.
let's just continue on. Interior Shawshank quarters today. Hadley's pissed off.
Dufresne, what the fuck did you do? Your ass, warden's office now.
Andy shoots a worried look at Red, then heads off. Interior guard desk, warden's outer office, day, 1955. Dozens of parcel boxes litter the floor. Wiley, the duty guard, picks through them. Hadley enters, trailed by Andy.
What is all this?
You tell me, fuckstick. They're addressed to you, every damn one.
Andy takes the envelope, pulls out a letter, reads.
Dear Mr. Dufresne, in response to your repeated inquiries, the State Senate has allocated the enclosed funds for your library project. Oh, wow. This is $200. In addition, the library district has generously responded with a charitable donation of used books and sundries. Oh, man. We trust this will fill your needs. We now consider the matter closed. Please stop sending us letters. Yours truly, the State Comptroller's Office.
Andy gazes around at the boxes. The riches of the world lay at his feet. His eyes mist with emotion at the sight.
I want all this cleared out before the warden gets back. I shit you not.
Hadley exits. Andy touches the boxes like a love-struck man touching a beautiful woman.
Man, it only took 6 years. From now on, I'm sending 2 letters a week instead of 1.
He gets giddy, ripping boxes open and pulling out books, touching them, smelling them. He rips open another box. This one contains an old phonograph player, industrial gray and green, the words Portland Public School District stenciled on the side. The box also contains stacks and stacks of used record albums. Andy reverently slips a stack from the box and starts flipping through them. Used Nat King Coles, Bing Crosby's, etc. He comes across as a certain album, Mozart's. Oh Jesus! He pulls
This
it from the
is y'all.
stack,
This is like
gazing
the
upon it.
solo narration of the whole story, where you got the longest narrative piece. So this is like my solo. Whenever I get to the, we're doing the show, so y'all can kick back for a second and let us read. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Izzy. I was just explaining that because it's so long. Okay.
It is a thing. It is a thing of beauty. It is the Grail. Interior bathroom day, 1955. Wally sits in one of the stalls, Jughead comic on his knees. Interior guard station, outer office, day, 1955. Andy wrestles the phonograph player onto the guard's desk, sweeping things onto the floor in haste. He plugs the machine in, a red light warms up, the platter starts spinning. He slides the Mozart's album from its sleeve, lays it on the platter, and lowers the tone arm to his favorite cut. The needle hisses in the groove, and the music begins, lilting and gorgeous. Andy sinks into Wally's chair, overcome by its beauty. It is a duet sung by Susanna and the Contessa. Interior bathroom day, 1955. Wally pauses, reading, puzzled. He thinks he hears music. Interior guard station, outer office day, 1955. Andy shoots a look at the bathroom and smiles. Go for broke. He lunges to his feet and barricades the front door, then the bathroom. He returns to the desk and positions the PA microphone. He works up his courage, then flicks all the toggles to on. A squeal of feedback echoes briefly. Interior exterior, various PA speakers, day 1955, and the Mozart is suddenly broadcast all over the prison. Interior bathroom day 1955. Wally lunges to his feet, pants tangling around his ankles. Cons all over the prison stop whatever they're doing, freezing in mid-step to listen, gazing up at the speakers. Andy is reclined in the chair, transported, arms fluidly conducting the music. Ecstasy and rapture. Shawshank no longer exists. It has been banished from the mind of men.
I have no idea to this day what them 2 Italian ladies were singing about. Truth is, I don't want to know. Some things are best left unsaid. I like to think they were singing about something so beautiful it can't be expressed in words. Makes your heart ache because of it. Tell you, those voices soared higher and farther than anybody in Gray Place dares to dream. It was like some big beautiful bird flapped into our drab little cage and made those balls dissolve away. And for the briefest of moments, every last man at Shawshank felt free.
Interior prison corridor, day 1955. Norton striding up the hallway with Hadley.
It pissed the warden off something terrible.
Norton and Hadley break the door in. Andy looks up with a sublime smile. We hear Wally pounding on the bathroom door.
Andy got 2 weeks in the hole for that little stunt.
Interior solitary confinement, day 1955. Andy doesn't seem to mind. His arms sweep to the music still playing in his head. We hear a faint echo in the soaring duet. Interior mess hall, day 1955. Haywood.
You gonna play something good, huh, Hank Williams?
Well, they broke the door down before I could take requests.
Is it worth 2 weeks in the hole?
Easiest time I ever did.
Shit, ain't no such thing as a time in the hole. A week seems like a year. Who's cracking? Okay. There it comes again. Hang on.
All right.
Sorry, guys. We'll get some cracking.
The only one that doesn't have an icon up is Oki. He's the only one we couldn't see actually making sound.
Yeah.
Can you mute him? Can you mute him?
Let me mute him.
Mute
Hold
Oki,
on.
see if we can't zero in on that.
Okay. It's done.
Okay.
Easiest
This part
time
will
ever.
come up in a few minutes anyway.
All right, let's go back. Easiest time I ever did.
Let's see. Shit, ain't no such easy time in a whole week. Seems like a year.
I had Mr. Mozart to keep me company. Hardly felt the time at all.
Oh, they let you tote that little record player down there, huh? Could have swore they confiscated that stuff.
Music was in here in my heart and in my head. That's one thing they can't confiscate, not ever. That's the beauty of it. Haven't you ever felt that way about music, Red?
Played a mean harmonica as a younger man. Lost taste for it. Didn't make much sense on the inside.
Here's where it makes most sense. We need it so we don't forget.
Forget?
That there are things in this world not carved out of gray stone. That there's a small place inside of us that they can never lock away, and that place is called hope.
Hope is a dangerous thing. It can drive a man insane. It's got no place here. Better get used to the idea.
Yeah, like Brooks did.
Fade to black. Interior Shawshank hearings room, day. Red enters, 10 years older than when we first saw him at a parole hearing. He removes his cap and sits.
It says you're 30 years of a life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated.
Yes, sir, without a doubt. I can say I'm a changed man. No danger to society here, that's the God's honest truth. Absolutely rehabilitated.
Close up parole form. A big rubber stamp slams down. Rejected. Exterior prison yard. Dusk. 1957. Red emerges into fading daylight. Andy's waiting for him.
Same old, same old. 30 years. Jesus, when you say it like that.
You wonder where it went. I wonder where 10 years went.
Red nods, solemn. They settle in the bleachers. Andy pulls a small box from his sweater, hands it to Red.
Anniversary gift. Open it.
Red does. Inside the box, on a thin layer of cotton, is a shiny new harmonica, bright aluminum and circus red.
Had to go through one of your competitors. Hope you don't mind. I wanted it to be a surprise.
It's very pretty, Andy. Thank you.
You gonna play something?
Red considers it, shakes his head softly.
Not today.
He regards the harmonica like a man confronted with a Martian artifact. He considers trying it out, even holds it briefly to his lips, almost embarrassed, puts it back in its box untested, and there the harmonica will stay.
Andy was as good as his word. He kept writing to the state senate 2 letters a week instead of 1. In 1959, the folks at Augusta Way finally clued into the fact they couldn't buy him off with just a $200 check. Appropriations Committee voted an annual payment of $500 just to shut him up. Those checks came in once a year like clockwork.
Andy's at the desk, munching thoughtfully as he totals up figures on an adding machine.
And there was Andy, keeping the books.
Andy finishes preparing 2 bank deposits. Norton hovers near the desk, keeping a watchful eye.
2 deposits, Costco Bank and New England First, and a night drop, like always.
Norton pockets the envelopes. Andy crosses the wall safe and shoves the ledger and sundry files inside. Norton locks the safe, swings his wife's framed sampler back into place. He cocks his thumb at some laundry and 2 suits in the corner.
Get my stuff down to laundry. 2 suits for dry clean and a bag of whatnot. Tell them if they overstarch my shirts again, they're going to hear about it from me. How do I look?
Very nice.
Big charity to do up at Portland Way. Governor's going to be there. Want the rest of that? Woman can't bake worth shit.
Interior prison corridor, night. Andy trudges down the corridor with Norton's laundry, the pie box under his arm. Interior library day, 1965. Tilt up from pie to red, munching away as he helps Andy sort books on his shelf.
Got a lot of fingers in it. His fingers in a lot of pies, from what I hear.
What you hear isn't half of it. He's got scams you haven't dreamed of. Kickbacks on his kickback. There's a river of dirty money flowing through this place.
Money like that can be a problem. Sooner or later, you gotta explain where it came from.
Well, that's where I come in. I channel it, funnel it, filter it, stocks, securities, tax-free municipals. I send that money out into the big world, and when it comes back,
It's as clean as a virgin's whistle.
cleaner. By the time Norton retires, I will have made him a millionaire.
Jesus, if they ever catch on, he's gonna wind up in here wearing a number himself.
I thought you had more faith in me than that.
Well, I'm sure you're good, Andy, but all that paper leaves a trail. Anybody gets curious, FBI, IRS, whatever, that trail's gotta lead to somebody.
Sure it will, but not to me. It's certainly not to the warden.
Well, who then?
Peter Stevens.
Who?
The silent partner. He's the guilty one, Your Honor. The man with the bank accounts. That's where the filtering process starts. They trace it back. All they're going to find is him.
Yeah, okay, but who the hell is he?
Phantom. An apparition. Second cousin to Harvey the Rabbit. I conjured him up out of thin air. He doesn't exist. Except on paper.
Andy, you just can't make a person up.
Sure you can. If you know how the system works and where the cracks are. It's amazing what you can accomplish by mail. Mr. Stevens has a birth certificate, a social security card, driver's license. If you ever track those accounts, they'll wind up chasing a figment of my imagination.
Jesus. Did I say you were good? You're a Rembrandt.
You know, it's funny. On the outside, I was an honest man, straight as an arrow. Had to come to prison to be a crook.
2 siren blasts draw their attention to the main gate. It swings open, revealing a prison bus waiting outside. Interior prison bus, dusk, 1965. Among those on board is Tommy Williams, a damn good-looking kid in his mid-20s. The bus rumbles through the gate. The new fish disembark, chained together, single file. The old-timers holler and shake the fence, a deafening gauntlet. Interior cell block 8, night, 1965. Tommy and the others are marched in naked and shivering, covered with the lousing powder, greeted by taunts and jeers.
Tommy Williams came to Shawshank in 1965 on a 2-year stretch for B&E. Cops caught him sneaking TV sets out the back door of a JCPenney. Young punk, Mr. Rock and Roll, cocky as hell.
Tommy is hauling the cut wood off the conveyor and stacking it. It's a ball-busting job, but the kid's a blur.
This is where Oki's going to come in here. Got that ready, Oki?
We muted him.
Oh, okay.
Well, he can
Let's get set
unmute
for that.
himself.
You there, Oki?
Oki is.
Try
Yeah,
unmuting him
you-
for himself. Maybe he isn't. There you go.
Thank
He's
you,
on.
Max.
There he is.
Oki.
Tommy is hauling the cut wood off the conveyor belt and stacking it. It's a ball-busting job, but the kid's a blur. Okay.
Come on. Is it come on there? Is that where it is?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. I had to go let my dogs out. I just caught up.
Okay.
Come on there, old boys. Moving like molasses. Making me look bad. You old guys just grin and shake your head.
Oh, that's narration. Hang on.
Let's narrate.
Sorry.
Just the 2 lines, then it goes to narration. Then you'll have quite a few lines down there. And he's a young guy, so that sounds good. Yeah, perfect.
The
Okay.
old guys just grin and shake their heads.
We liked him immediately.
Interior mess hall, day 1965. Tommy regales the old boys with his exploits.
So I'm backing out the door, right? Had the TV like this. Big old thing. Couldn't see shit. Suddenly, here's this voice. Freeze, kid! Hands in the air. Well, I just stand there holding on to that TV. So the voice says, "You hear what I said, boy?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I sure did. But if I drop this fucking thing, you got me on destruction of property, too." The whole table falls about laughing.
Interior
Poker game and
library
poker.
today. The poker game's in progress. Tommy, Andy, Red, and the boys. You did a stretch in Cashman too?
Yeah, that was an easy ride, let me tell you. Work programs, weekend furloughs, not like here.
Sounds like you done time all over New England.
Been in and out since I was 13. Name the place. Chances are I've been there.
Perhaps it's time you consider a new profession. What I mean is, you don't seem to be a very good thief. Maybe you should try something else.
What the hell you know about it, Capone? What are you in for?
Everybody's innocent in here, don't you know that?
The tension breaks. Everyone laughs.
As it turned out, Tommy himself had a young wife and a new baby girl.
Tommy enters, the strut gone from his step. A little scared, he finds Andy filing library cards.
Whatever it was, something lit a fire under that boy's ass.
I'm thinking maybe I should try for a high school equivalency. Here, help some fellas with that.
I don't waste time on losers, Tommy.
I ain't no goddamn loser.
That's a good start. If we do this, we do it all the way. 100%. Nothing is half-assed.
Tommy thinks about it, nods.
Thing is, I don't read all that good.
Well, you come to the right place then.
Interior library, day 1965. We find Andy giving an impassioned reading.
In the lamplight honor, him streaming throws the shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
Andy slaps the book shut, immensely pleased with himself.
So this raven just sits there and won't go away?
That's right.
Why don't that fella get himself a 12 gauge and dust that fucker?
Interior Library Day,
Dude,
1965.
that's great.
Good job, Okie.
That's just funny, man.
So Andy took Tommy under his wing, started walking him through his ABCs. Tommy took to it pretty well, too. The boy found brains he never knew he had. Before long, Andy started him on his course requirements. They really liked the kid. That was part of it. Gave him a thrill to help a youngster crawl out of the shit heap. But that wasn't the only reason. Prison time is a slow time. Sometimes feels like stop time. So you do what you gotta do to keep going. Some fellas collect stamps, others build matchstick houses. Andy built a library. Now he needed a new project. Tommy was it.
Interior Library Day, 1966. Tommy's taking the big test. Andy clears his throat. Time's up. Tommy puts his pencil down.
Well,
Well, it's for shit. Wasted a whole fucking year of my time with this bullshit.
I know it may not be as bad as you think.
It's worse. I didn't get a fucking thing right. Might as well be in Chinese.
We'll see how the score comes out.
I'll tell you how the goddamn score comes out. 2 points right there. There's your goddamn score. Goddamn cats crawling up trees. 5 times 5, 25. Man, fuck this place. Fuck it.
All right, I think that works. I think we got a good one. We're gonna stick with this. Or with it. Also, how do you feel about it?
Sasquatch was doing Tommy before Okie, so we were kind of like put it on him last minute. I had been looking for somebody, but that's good. All right.
Tommy is gone.
He's good.
Read another stare. What? What, Scully?
Nothing.
Sir.
You're good.
Oh, I thought you said something.
Mm-mm.
Tommy is gone. Read another stare. Andy gets up, pulls the test from the trash, smooths it out on the desk. Interior Woodshop Day, 1966. Rest break. Tommy and Red sipping cokes.
I feel bad. I let him down.
That's crap, son. He's proud of you. Proud as a hen. We've been friends a long time. I know him as good as anybody.
Smart fella, ain't he?
Smart as they come. Used to be a banker on the outside.
What's he in for anyway?
Murder?
The hell you say?
You wouldn't think, looking at him. Caught his wife in the bed with some golf pro. Greased them both. Come on, boy. Back to work.
Smash. Red turns back. Tommy's coke has slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. The kid's gone white as a sheet.
Oh my God.
Interior Library Day, 1966. Tommy sits before Andy and Red.
About 4 years ago, I was in Tomaston on the 2 to 3 stretch. Stole a car. Dumb fucking thing to do. Few months left to go. I got a new cellmate in. Elmo Blatch. Big twitchy fucker. Crazy eyes. Kind of roomy you pray you don't get. Know what I'm saying? 6 to 12 for armed burglary. Said he done hundreds of jobs. It's hard to believe, high strung as he was. Cut a loud fart, he'd go 3 foot in the air. Talked all the time too. That's the other thing. Never shut up. Places he'd been, jobs he'd pulled, women he'd fucked, even people he'd killed. People that give him shit, that's how he put it. One night, like a joke, I say, "Yeah, who'd you kill?" So he says,
You're going to continue with Blatch, you know, how you would like if you were saying something to somebody in conversation, you know? So just like when you get to that point, see what I'm saying?
Right.
So go back to one night like a joke, I say, and then start with that.
One night.
It's three. Right before you get to Blatch, just say those few lines to lead into
Oh,
it,
yeah.
so you get a good feel for it.
Places he'd been, jobs he pulled, women he fucked, even people he killed, people that give him shit. That's how he put it. One night, like a joke, I say, "Yeah, who'd you kill?" He says, "I got me this job one time busting tables at a country club so I could taste the big rich pricks that come in. Pick out this guy, go in one night and do his place. He wakes up and gives me shit. So I killed him and his tasty bitch he was with." That's the best part. She's fucking this prick, see? This golf pro, but she's married to some other guy, some hot shot banker. He's the one they pinned it on. They got him down Maine somewhere doing time for the crime. Ain't that choice?
Perfect.
Wow.
That's brilliant, baby. That's brilliant.
Okay, yeah, you did a really good job.
Good job, Oki.
He throws his head back.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
He throws his head back and roars with laughter. Interior Prison Library, day 1966. Silence. Tommy has finished his story. Red is stunned. But Andy looks like he's been smacked with a 2x4.
Andy?
Andy says nothing. Walks stiffly away. Doesn't look back. Interior Norton's office, day 1966.
Well, I have to say, that's the most amazing story I've ever heard. What amazes me most is you were taken in by it.
Sir?
It's obvious this fellow Williams is impressed with you. He hears your tale of woe, and quite naturally, he wants to cheer you up. He's young, not terribly bright. Not surprising he didn't know what a state he'd put you in.
I think he's telling the truth.
Let's just say for a moment Blatch does exist. You think he'd just fall to his knees and cry, "Yes, I did it, I confess, by all means, please add a life term to my sentence"?
It wouldn't matter. With Tommy's testimony, I can get a new trial.
That's assuming Blatch is even still there. Chances are excellent he'd be released by now. Excellent.
They'd have his last known address, names of relatives. Well, it's a chance, isn't it? How can you be so obtuse?
What? What did you call me?
Obtuse. Is it deliberate? The country club will have his old time card, W-2s, his name on them.
Dufresne, if you want to indulge this fantasy, that's your business. Don't make it mine. This meeting's over.
Look, if it's a squeeze, don't worry. I'd never say what goes on in here. I'd be just as indictable as you for laundering the money.
Don't you ever mention money to me again, you sorry son of a bitch. Not in this office, not anywhere. Get in here now.
I was just trying to rest your mind at ease, that's all.
Solitary, a month.
Andy gets dragged away, kicking and screaming.
What's the matter with you? It's a chance to get out. I don't see that. It's my life. Don't you understand? It's my life.
Exterior prison yard, day 1966. Mail call. Men crowd around as names are called out. Red and the boys parked on the bleachers.
A month in the hole. Longest damn stretch I ever heard of.
It's my fault.
Like hell. You didn't pull the trigger, and you didn't convict him.
Red, you saying Andy's innocent? I mean, for real innocent? Sweet Jesus, how long's he been in here?
Since 47, going on 19 years.
Thomas Williams?
Tommy raises his hand. The envelope gets tossed to him. He stares at it. Red peers over his shoulder.
Board of Education.
The son of a bitch mailed it.
Looks that way. You're gonna open it or stick your thumb up your butt?
Thumb up my butt sounds better.
He gets hemmed in by the older men. Red snatches the letter.
come on. Just throw it away, will you please? Just throw it away.
Red rips it open, scans the letter, expressionless.
Well, shit.
Interior visitor's room, day 1966. Tommy makes his way through the chaos, finds Beth and the baby waiting behind the thick plexi shield. He sits, doesn't pick up the phone, just stares at Beth. She doesn't know what to make of it. He presses a piece of paper against the glass, a high school diploma. Her face lights up, blinking back tears. Interior, solitary wing, night 1966. Low angle on the steel door. Somewhere behind it, unseen, is Andy. A rat scurries along the wall. Footsteps approaching slowly. Interior, solitary night 1966. Andy listens in the darkness. The footsteps pause outside his door. The slot opens. An elderly guard peers in.
Kid passed. C+ average. Thought you'd like to know.
The slot closes. The footsteps recede. Andy smiles. Interior, prison corridor, 1966. We find Tommy on evening work detail, mopping the floors with bucket and pail. Mert Entwistle comes into view.
Let's
Out here?
Merritt could do Merritt too.
That puts him talking both sides of that conversation.
Oh, okay, well let's have Steve-O do Merritt then.
Warden wants to talk.
Exterior prison, night 1966. A steel door rattles open. Mert leaves Tommy outside to a gate. Unlocks it. Tommy looks around.
Out here?
That's what the man said.
Mert swings the gate open, sends Tommy through, turns and heads back inside. Tommy proceeds out across the loading dock access for the shops and mills. Some vehicles parked. The place is deserted. He stops, sensing a presence.
Warden?
Norton steps into the light.
Tommy, we've got a situation here. I think you can appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I sure can.
I tell you, son, this really came along and knocked my wind out. Got me up nights, that's the truth.
Norton pulls a pack of cigarettes, offers Tommy a smoke. Tommy takes one. Norton lights both cigarettes, pockets his lighter.
The right decision. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what that is. You understand? Think hard, Tommy. If I'm going to move on this, there can't be the least little shred of doubt. I have to know if what you told Dufresne was the truth.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Would you be willing to swear before a judge and jury, having placed your hand on the good book and taken an oath before Almighty God himself?
Just give me the chance.
That's what I thought.
Norton drops his cigarette, crushes it out with the toe of his shoe, glances up toward the plate shop roof as, high angle from plate shop roof, sniper point of view. A rifle scope pops into frame, jumping Tommy's image into startling magnification, framed in the crosshairs. The sniper. Rapid fires a carbine. Blam, 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 blam. His face lit up by... Thank you. His face lit... Thank you.
She's going for an Oscar.
Let's do it. Oh, Jesus.
Hey, you all got it wrong. It's pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.
That's exactly what it is. Rapid fires a carbine. Blam, 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 blam. His face lit up by muzzle flashes. Captain Hadley. Tommy gets chewed to pieces by the gunfire. He smacks the ground in a twitching, thrashing heap, eyes wide and staring, dead. Surprise still stamped on his face. Silence now. Norton turns, strolls into the darkness. Interior solitary wing, 1966. Guards approach, Andy's cell. The door is unlocked. Andy emerges slowly, blinking painfully at the light. Andy has marched along. Convicts stop to stare. Interior of Norton's office, day 1966. Andy is let in. The door is closed, alone with Norton's. Softly.
Terrible thing. Man that young, less than a year to go, trying to escape. Broke Captain Hadley's heart to shoot him. Truly it did.
No, I'm done. It stops right now. Get H&R Block to declare your income.
Norton lunges to his feet, eyes sparkling with rage.
Nothing stops. Nothing! Or you will do the hardest time there is. No more protection from the guards. I'll pull you out of that $1 Hilton and put you in with the biggest bull queer I can find. You think you got fucked by a train. And the library, gone. Sealed off brick by brick. We'll have us a little book barbecue in the yard. They'll see the flames for miles. We'll dance around it like wild Indians. Do you understand me? Are you catching my drift?
Slow push in on Andy's face, eyes hollow. His beaten expression says it all. Exterior prison yard, day 1966. Red finds Andy sitting in the shadow of the high stone wall, poking listlessly through the dust for small pebbles.
My wife used to say I'm a hard man to know. Like a closed book. Complained about it all the time. She was beautiful. I loved her. But I guess I couldn't show it enough. I killed her, Red.
And Andy finally glances to Red, seeking a reaction. Silence.
Yes, you're muted.
I didn't pull the trigger, but I drove her away. That's why she died. Because of me. Because of the way I am.
That don't make you a murderer. Bad husband, maybe. Feel bad about it if you want, but you didn't pull that trigger.
No, I didn't. Somebody else did, and I wound up in here. Bad luck, I guess.
Bad luck? Jesus.
Think you'll ever get out of here?
Sure. When I got a long white beard and about 3 marbles left rolling around upstairs.
Tell you where I'd go. Zihuatanejo.
Zihuatanejo?
Mexico. Little place right on the Pacific. You know what the Mexicans say about the Pacific? They say it has no memory. That's where I'd like to finish out my life, Red. A warm place with no memory. Open a little hotel right on the beach. Buy some worthless old boat and fix it up like new. Take my guests out, charter fishing. You know, a place like that. I need a man who could get things done.
Red stares at Andy, laughs.
Jesus, Andy, I couldn't hack it on the outside. Been in here too long. I'm an institutional man now, like old Brooks Hadlin was.
You underestimate yourself.
Bullshit. In here, I'm the guy who can get it for you. Out there, all you need are the yellow pages. I wouldn't know where to begin. Shit, Pacific Ocean. Hell, I'd scare me to death something that big.
Not me. I didn't shoot my wife, and I didn't shoot her lover, and whatever mistakes I've made, I've paid for them, and then some. That hotel, that boat, I don't think it's too much to want. To look at the stars just after sunset, touch the sand, wade in the water. Make me feel free, Red.
God damn it, Andy, stop. Don't do that to yourself. Talking shitty pipe dreams. Mexico's down there and you're in here. And that's the way it is.
You're right. It's down there and I'm in here. I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living or get busy dying.
Red snaps a look. What the hell does that mean? Andy rises and walks away. Red lunges to his feet.
Andy?
Red, if you ever get out of here, do me a favor. There's this big hayfield up near Buxton. You know where Buxton is, Red?
Yeah, lots of hay fields there.
Well, there's this one in particular. It's got a long rock wall with a big oak at the north end, like something out of a Robert Frost poem. It's where I asked my wife to marry me. We'd gone for a picnic. We'd made love under that tree. I asked her and she said yes. Promise me, Red, if you ever get out, find that spot. In the base of that wall, you'll find a rock that has no earthly business in Maine hayfield. A piece of black volcanic glass. You'll find something buried under it. I want you to have it.
What's buried there?
You'll just have to pry it up, look under that rock, and see.
Andy turns and walks away. Interior Mess Hall Day, 1966.
I tell you, the man was talking crazy. I'm worried. I truly am.
We ought to keep an eye on him.
That's fine during the day, but at night he's got that salad all to himself.
Oh, Lord. Andy come down the loading dock today, asking for a length of rope, 6 foot long.
Shit, you gave it to him?
Sure did. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Christ, remember Brooks Hatlin?
How the hell was I supposed to know?
Andy'd never do that, never.
Every man's got a breaking point.
They all look to Red. Oh, sorry. Norton's office night. Andy's working it away. Norton pokes his head in.
Lickety split. I want to get home.
Just about done, sir.
We follow Norton to his wife's sampler. He swings it aside, works the combination dial, opens the wall safe. Andy moves up, shoves in the black ledger, and files. Norton shuts the safe.
3 deposits tonight.
Andy hands him the envelopes. Norton heads for the door.
Get my stuff down to laundry and shine my shoes. I want them looking like mirrors. Nice having you back, Andy. Place just wasn't the same without you.
Interior Andy cell, night, 1966. The lights bump off. He gazes at Raquel and smiles. Pulls a 6 foot length of rope from under his pillow, lets it uncoil to the floor. Interior Red cell, night, 1966. Red sits in the dark, a bundle of nerves, trying to hold himself still. He feels like he might scream or shake to the pieces. The seconds tick by, each an eternity.
I've had some long nights in stir, alone in the dark with nothing but your thoughts. Time can draw out like a blade.
A flash of lightning outside his window sends harsh, barred shadows jittering across the cell, a storm breaking.
That was the longest night of my life.
Interior cell block 5, morning, 1966. Ka-thump. The master lock is thrown. The cons emerge from their cells, and the head count begins. Red looks back to see if Andy's in line. He's not. Suddenly, the count stalls.
Man, this is here too, till 12.
The head bull, Haig, checks his list.
Frank, get your ass out here, boy. You're holding up the show. Now, don't make me come down there now. I'll thump your skull for you.
Still no answer. Glaring, Haig stalks down the tier, clipboard in his hand. His men fall in behind.
Frank, damn it, you're putting me behind. You better be sick or dead in there. I shit you not.
They arrive at bars. Their faces go slack, stunned, softly.
Oh my God.
Reverse angle.
He was dead.
reveals the cell is empty. Everything neat and tidy. Even the bunk is stowed. They wrench the door open and rush in, tossing the cell in panic as if Andy might be lurking under the Kleenex or the toothpaste. Interior Norton's office morning, 1966. Norton is kicking back with the morning paper. He notices how dingy his shoes are. He glances at the shoebox on his desk, kicks his shoes off, opens the box, and pulls out Andy's old grimy work shoes. He stares blankly. What the fuck indeed? An alarm starts blaring throughout the prison. He looks up. Exterior prison day, 1966. Norton and Hadley stride across the grounds, alarm blaring.
I want every man on that cell block questioned. Start with that friend of his.
Who?
Interior cell block 5, red cell. Day 1966. Red watches as Norton storms up with an entourage of guards.
Him!
Red's eyes widen. Guards yank him from his cell. Interior Andy's cell, day 1966. Norton steps to the center of the room, working himself up into a fine rage.
What do you mean he just wasn't here? Don't say that to me, Haig. Don't say that to me again.
Norton grabs the clipboard and thrusts it at Hadley.
What about you? You blind? Tell me what this is.
Last night's count.
You see Dufresne's name? I sure do. Right there. See? Dufresne. He was in his cell at lights out. Stands to reason he'd still be here this morning. I want him found. Not tomorrow, not after breakfast, now.
Haig scurries out, gathering men. Norton spins to Red.
Well?
Well, what?
I see you two all the time. You're thick as thieves, you are. He must have said something.
No, sir, he didn't.
Norton spreads his arms, evangelist style, spins slowly around.
Lord, it's a miracle. Man up and vanished like a fart in the wind. Nothing left but some damn rocks on the windowsill and that cupcake on the wall. Let's ask her. Maybe she knows. What say there, fuzzy britches? Feel like talking? Guess not. Why should you be any different?
Red exchanges looks with the guards. Even they are nervous. Norton scoops a handful of rocks off the sill. He hurls them at the wall, one at a time, shattering them, punctuating his words.
It's a conspiracy. That's what this is. It's one big damn conspiracy. And everyone's in on it, including her.
He sends the last rock whizzing right at Raquel. No smash. It takes a moment for this to sink in. All eyes go to her. The rock went through her. There's a small hole in the poster where her navel used to be. You could hear a pin drop. Norton reaches up, sinks his finger into the hole. He keeps pushing, and his entire hand disappears into the wall, revealing the long, crumbling tunnel in the wall.
In 1966, Andy Dufresne escaped from Shawshank prison. All they found of him was a muddy set of prison clothes, a bar of soap, and an old rock hammer, damn near worn down to the nub. I remember thinking it would take a man 600 years to tunnel through a wall with it. Andy did it in less than 20. As it turns out, Andy's favorite hobby was toting his wall into the exercise yard a handful at a time.
Exterior loading dock, access, night, 1966. Angle looking straight down. Below us, Tommy Williams lies face down at Norton's feet. Blood is spreading, fanning out over the pavement. Norton turns, strolls out of frame.
I guess after Tommy was killed, Andy just decided he'd been here just about long enough.
Again we see Andy working. Norton pokes his head in.
Lickety split. I want to get home.
Just about done, sir.
Norton crosses to the wall safe and works the dial. His back turned. This time, though, we stay on Andy. He pulls up his sweater, yanks out a large black book and a stack of files, lays them on the desk. He then grabs the real ledger and files, jams them down his pants, and smooths the sweater down. He picks up the bogus stack, crosses to Norton, and shoves everything in. Interior hallway, night, 1966. Norton exits his office and strolls off whistling. Push in on the door. We see Andy at the guard's desk, pulling Norton's dress shoes from their box.
Andy did like he was told, buff those shoes to a high mere shine.
Interior Norton's office, minutes later, 1966. Andy sorts through Norton's three suits. He pauses, checking the gray pinstripe. Nice. Interior cell block 5, night, 1966. The guard buzzes Andy through. Andy walks towards us.
The guard simply didn't notice. Neither did I. I mean, seriously, how often do you really look at a man's shoes?
Tilt down as he passes by. Yep, he's wearing Norton's shoes.
Andy crawled through freedom through 500 yards of foul. Andy crawled to freedom through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine. Or maybe I just don't want to.
Fingers appear, thrusting through the heavy gauge wire mesh covering the mouth of the pipe. Andy's face looms from the darkness, peering out at freedom. He wrenches the mesh loose, pushes himself out, and plunges headfirst into the creek. He comes up, sputtering for breath. The water is waist deep. He raises his arm to the sky, turning slowly, feeling the rain washing him clean, exultant, triumphant. A flash of lightning arcs from horizon to horizon. Interior Cascade Bank of Portland, morning, 1966. The door opens. Spit shine shoes enter.
A man nobody ever laid eyes on before strolled in the Costco Bank of Portland. Until that moment, he didn't exist, except on paper.
May I help you?
Tilt up to Andy, smiling in Norton's gray pinstripe suit.
My name is Peter Stevens. I've come to close out some accounts.
The teller is cutting a cashier's check while the manager carefully examines Mr. Stevens' various IDs.
He had all the proper ID, driver's license, birth certificate, social security card, and the signature was a spot-on match.
I must say, I'm sorry to be losing your business. I hope you'll enjoy living abroad.
Thank you. I'm sure I will.
Here's your cashier's check, sir. Would there be anything else?
Please, would you add this to your outgoing mail?
He hands her a package stamped and addressed, gives them a pleasant smile, turns and strolls from the bank.
Mr. Stevens visited nearly a dozen banks in the Portland area that morning. All told, he blew town with better than $370,000 of Warden Norton's money. Severance pay for 19 years.
Interior Office, day, 1966. A man in shirt sleeves is going through the mail on his desk. He finds Andy's package, rips it open, pulls out the black ledger and files, scans a cover letter. Holy shit. He dashes to his door and yanks it open, revealing the words on the glass. Portland Daily Bugle, Editor-in-Chief.
Al, Dave, get your butts over here.
Interior Shawshank Prison, day 1966. Norton walks slowly towards his office, dazed, the morning paper in his hand. He goes wordlessly past the duty guard into his office, shuts the door, lays the paper on his desk. The headline reads, Corruption and Murder at Shawshank. Below that, the subheadline, DA has ledger, indictments expected. Norton looks up as sirens wail in the distance. Norton opens his safe and pulls out the ledger. It's Andy's Bible. The title page is inscribed by hand. Dear Warden, you were right. Salvation lay within. Norton flips to the center of the book and finds the pages hollowed out in the shape of a rock hammer. Exterior Prison, day 1966. Police cruisers everywhere. A media circus. Reporters jostle for position. A colorless district attorney steps forward into close-up, flanked by a contingent of state troopers.
Byron Hadley.
Angle shifts to reveal Hadley staring, waiting.
You have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, anything you say will be used against you in court.
Troopers move in, cuffing Hadley's hands behind his back. The DA drones on, flashbulbs pop. Hadley says nothing. His face scrunches up. He begins to cry.
I wasn't there to see it, but I heard Byron Hadley was sobbing like a little girl when they took him away.
Interior Norton's office, day 1966. Norton is staring out the window as they approach the building. He goes to his desk, opens a drawer. Inside lies a revolver and a box of shells.
Norton had no intention of going that quietly.
Interior prison corridors, day 1966. The DA marches along amidst a phalanx of troopers. Interior Norton's office, day 1966. Norton sits blankly at his desk, revolver before him. The doorknob rattles. A voice is heard.
Daniel Norton, we have a warrant for your arrest. Open up!
I'd like to think the last thing that went through Norton's head, other than that bullet, was to wonder how in the hell Andy Dufresne got the best of him. Not long after the warden deprived of his company, I got a postcard in the mail. It was blank, but the postmark said McNary, Texas.
Interior Library, day 1966. Red sits with an atlas, tracing his finger down the page.
McNary, right on the border. That's where Andy crossed. When I picture him heading south in his own car with the top down, it makes me laugh all over again.
Exterior, Mexico, highway, day 1966. A red convertible rips along with Andy at the wheel, cigar jutting from his grin, warm wind fluttering his tie.
Andy Dufresne, who crawled through a river of shit and came out clean the other side. Andy Dufresne, headed for the Pacific. Those of us who knew him talked about him often. I swear the stuff he pulled, it always makes us laugh. Sometimes it makes me sad, though, Andy being gone. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged, that's all. Their feathers are just too bright.
A distant rumble of thunder. Red pauses, gazes off. Storm clouds coming in, backlit by the sun. A light drizzle begins.
I guess I just miss my friend.
An iron-barred door slides open with an enormous clang. A stark room beyond 6 men and 1 woman sit at a long table. An empty chair faces them. We are again in Interior Shawshank Hearings Room, day 1967. Red enters, sits. 20 years older than when we first saw him.
Your phone says you've served 40 years of a life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated?
Red doesn't answer, just stares off. Seconds tick by. The parole board exchanges glances. Somebody clears his throat.
Shall I repeat the question?
I heard you. Rehabilitated. Let's see now. You know, come to think about it, I have no idea what that means.
Well, it means you're ready to rejoin society.
I know what you think it means, sonny boy. Me, it's just a made-up word. Politician's word. Word so young fellas like you can wear a suit and a tie and have a job. What do you really want to know? Am I sorry for what I did?
Well, are you?
Not a day goes by I don't feel regret. And not because I'm in here or because you think I should. I look at myself the way I was. Stupid kid who did that terrible crime. Wish I could talk some sense to him. Tell him how things are. But I can't. That kid's long gone. And this old man, that's all that's left. And I have to live with that. Rehabilitated? That's a bullshit word, so you can just go on and stamp that form there, sonny, and stop wasting my damn time, because truth is, I don't give a shit.
The parole board just stares. Red sits drumming his fingers. Close-up parole form. A big rubber stamp slams down and lifts away to reveal the word approved in red ink. Exterior Shawshank Prison, day 275. Day. Two short siren blasts herald the opening of the main gate. It swings hugely open, revealing Red standing in his cheap suit, carrying a cheap bag, wearing a cheap hat. He walks out, still looking stunned. Interior bus day. Red rides the bus, clutching the seat before him, gripped by terror of speed and motion. Exterior Brewster Hotel, late afternoon. Red arrives at the Brewster, 3 stories high and even less to look at than it used to be. Interior Brewster, late day. A black woman leads Red up to the stairs towards the top floor. Interior Red's room, late day. Small, old, dingy. An arched window with a view of Congress Street. Traffic noise floats up. Red enters and pauses, staring up at the ceiling beam. Carved into the wood are the words, Brooks Hatlin was here. Interior Foodway Market, day. Loud jangling with people and noise. We find Red bagging groceries. Registers are humming. Kids are shrieking. Red calls the store manager.
Sir, restroom break, sir?
You don't need to ask me every time you take a piss. Just go, understand?
Interior Employee Restroom, day. Red steps to the urinal, stares at himself in the wall mirror.
30 years I've been asking permission to piss. I can't squeeze a drop without say-so.
Interior Foodway, day. Bagging groceries in the grip of a major anxiety attack.
There's a harsh truth to face. No way I'm gonna make it on the outside. All I do anymore is think of ways to break my parole. Terrible thing, to live in fear. Brooks Hadlin knew it all too well. All I want is to be back where things make sense, where I don't have to be afraid all the time.
He glances up at the ceiling beam. Brooks Hatlin was here.
Only one thing stops me. A promise I made to Andy.
Walking, searching, the day turning late. Red finds himself staring at a distant field. There's a long rock wall, like something out of a Robert Frost poem. Big oak tree. Red checks his compass. North end, he crosses a dirt road into the field. Red walks the long rock wall, nearing the tree. A squirrel scolds him from a low branch, scurries up higher. Red studies the base of the wall. Nothing unusual here, just a bunch of rocks set in stone. Something catches his eye. Red leans down and solves the mystery at last, staring at the object buried under the rock. Stunned, it's an envelope wrapped in plastic. Written on it, it's a single word. Red.
It's my name.
Dear Red, if you're reading this, you've gotten out. And if you've come this far, maybe you're willing to come a little farther. You remember the name of the town, don't you? I could use a good man to help me get my project on wheels. I'll keep an eye out for you and the chessboard ready. Remember, Red, hope is a good thing, maybe the best things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll be hoping that this letter finds you and finds you well. Your friend, Andy.
By now, tears are spilling silently from Red's cheeks. He opens the other envelope and fans out a stack of new $50 bills, 20 of them, $1,000. Interior Red's room, day. Red is dressed in his suit. He finishes knotting his tie, puts his hat on. His bag is by the door. He takes one last look around. Only one thing left to do. He pulls a wooden chair to the center of the room and gazes up at the ceiling beam.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
He steps up on the chair. It wobbles under his weight. Interior Brewster Red's door, day 1967. The door opens. Red exits with his bag and heads down the stairs, leaving the door open. We see the ceiling beam, which reads, Brooks Hadlin was here. A new message has been carved alongside the old. So was Red. A gorgeous New England landscape whizzes by, fields and trees, a blur of motion. We finally come to Red gazing out at the passing landscape.
I find I'm so excited I can barely sit still or hold a thought in my head. I think it's the excitement only a free man can feel. A free man at the start of a long journey whose conclusion is uncertain. I hope I can make it across the border. I hope I can see my friend and shake his hand. I hope the Pacific is as blue as it's in my dreams. I hope.
Exterior beach, wide panoramic shot, day. A distant boat lies on its side in the sand like an old wreck that's been left to rot in the sun. There's someone out there, close in on the boat. A man is meticulously stripping the old paint and varnish by hand, face hidden with goggles and kerchief mask. Red appears, a distant figure walking out across the sand, wearing his cheap suit and carrying his cheap bag. The man on the boat pauses, turns slowly around. Red arrives with a smile as wide as the horizon. The other man raises his goggles and pulls down his mask. Andy, of course.
You look like a man who knows how to get things.
I'm known to locate things from time to time.
Red shrugs off his jacket and picks up a sander. Together, they start sanding the hull as we fade out. The end. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da.
These wonderful actors, a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. That was really wonderful, fantastic. Great job, great job. Showtime, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central. We're ready. Wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but I'm feeling good.
I want to thank my mods that came to help Scully out, and Janica also.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody who's here tonight with finding time to come out, everybody that donated, members alike. We've got a big show planned for you Saturday night. It'll be a lot of fun, some giveaways, and trying to get some music for the end of the show. It's going to be exciting. We have a wonderful overlay that we're going to read to, kind of keeping that as a surprise for everybody. So, yeah. I'm glad to have Oki on board. Definitely takes a little bit of the load off. You sounded great. How you feeling, Oki, bro?
Man, I love it, guys. I think we did an awesome job. It's coming together like butt cheeks around a thong, you guys.
Oh, God.
It's the second most terrifying reference I've heard today.
Well, try to be there at 6:30 Saturday for cast call in case any last minute things need to be talked about. That's usually standard protocol. Other than that, I'll send a link out to everybody in an email. I think the script's pretty good to go. Other than that, if you don't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and end the show tonight. Say goodbye to everybody here real quick. Bingus, thank you so much, sir. Steve-O, wonderful as always. All right, let's Izzy, you want to go ahead and pull up a video for the outro? Thank you, Nez. Sasquatch.
Tingle Grain.